विश्व भर में लोगों से कहना चाहता हूं, कम मेक इन इंडिया।
Hello and a very warm welcome to this special edition of Rajya Sabha Television. Shortly after coming to power, Prime Minister Narendra Modi championed the initiative that he called Make in India. With the intent of boosting manufacturing, his administration refined manufacturing conditions and rolled out red carpet for foreign investors, encouraging them to consider India not just as a market but as a manufacturing hub. What's more, the demographics with a young and energetic workforce, Make in India is just not an exceptional idea, but the need of the hour. Made in China, a tagline that reverberated across continents. India seeks a transition of its own to the big league. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi, realizing the importance of manufacturing in India, pitches his Make in India campaign in China. During his 6-day tour to China, Mongolia and South Korea, Modi framed this pitch around the potential of India's manufacturing sector and massive market here in a range of areas, including infrastructure projects. In China, India and the Red Dragon signed business deals worth $22 billion. 21 deals that covered a wide range of sectors, industrial parks, ports, financing and beyond. Modi glorified what he called the 5F formula: farm to fiber to fabric to fashion to foreign, stressing that India and China together can give a special something to the world.
This is one of our most important strategic partnerships. The reason is obvious. The re-emergence of India and China and their relationship will have a profound impact on the two countries and the course of this century.
The colourful mechanized cogwheel logo of the striding line was the vision Prime Minister Narendra Modi propagated during a 9-day tour of 3 key Western nations. He pitched Make in India in a big way to France, Germany and Canada, 3 major global economies seeking investment into India. Defence, energy and infrastructure were focal points of the Prime Minister's visit to France as he interacted with French industry leaders. In European powerhouse Germany, Modi met Chancellor Angela Merkel and inaugurated Hannover Messe, considered a meeting point for the world's largest industry conglomerates and business tycoons. In Canada too, in Ottawa, Toronto and Vancouver, he met leaders of industry, pitching for investment for his Make in India dream. Modi's unfazed selling of India as an investment destination is the most striking aspect of his outreach to the global business community. He woos global investors with the promise of a stable and transparent tax regime, underlying at every venue that his government means business. Goodbye red tape, hello red carpet. That's what the Modi government is saying.
When this initiative is taken in its fullness, And when states, which they are definitely doing, cooperating with us, the entire atmosphere in India to make India as a manufacturing hub, to make India as a good destination for design and for innovation will be achieved. And therefore we feel that the initiative is really getting well received. States are working together with us.
But the fact remains, Make in India is easier said than done. There are hurdles aplenty for a foreign company looking to start making in India. Apart from foreign companies, making in India is a grueling task for indigenous companies as well. Industrialists think a million times before venturing into a big ticket project. Veteran industrialist J.P. Malhotra's manufacturing company, Bharat Cylinder Valves, rakes in massive annual returns. Despite the profits, Malhotra is firm about the reasons not to start a manufacturing unit. His view derives from the first-hand experience of what he went through with his enterprise. Juggling markets, recruitments, cash flow, customer relations, government licenses, power outages. Uncooperative family members who saw safety in a secure job added to his struggle. No wonder the culture of India is risk-averse. Despite it all, Malhotra sees hope in the Make in India vision, but says it's more important to make India, then Make in India would surely follow.
Our Prime Minister is very keen on promoting Make in India, but the ground level problems are slightly different. We have a lot of problems and issues. Ease of doing business needs a change in mindset of the concerned officials at all levels, whether it's the district level or the state level or even the national level. What happens is the policies percolate from the top, but their implementation needs much more, it leaves much more to be desired to be done.
Over the last decade, India has seen a tremendous surge in entrepreneurial spirit, till the economic slowdown spoiled the euphoria. The Make in India initiative is an effort to lift the country out of it by urging Indian and international companies to invest in 25 priority sectors ranging from automobiles to thermal power. Yet, the closure of many companies only underlines the enormity of the challenge that the manufacturing sector faces. Manufacturers have become traders, a story that's repeated across sectors, as diverse as toys and telecommunication equipment and automobile components. Devesh Jain is more acquainted with the route that Shanghai Metro takes than he is with Indian Railways or Delhi Metro. This Faridabad-based kitchen appliance trader visits China every 3 months to explore suppliers. 6 years ago, Devesh had a large manufacturing unit. However, the Indian manufacturing inertia and the heat of cheaper Chinese imports compelled him to import in India rather than make in India. Devesh says if the Make in India drive is to succeed, it's important to turn traders back to manufacturers.
Infrastructure is good, power is no issue, and the main thing is the logistics. Because if I want to manufacture something like a chimney here, so I need around 20 suppliers, and they should be within a range of 2 to 3 kilometers. This is the most benefit which is enjoying, these Chinese are enjoying.
The World Bank ranks nations on the basis of ease of doing business and trade friendliness. In its report in 2015, it ranked India abysmally low at 142nd position out of 189 economies. And now, India plans to make a quantum jump to improve its position by leapfrogging to 50th position by 2017. The government recently took a few initiatives to improve the business environment. Entrepreneurs setting up new enterprises have just to fill one form against the 8 separate forms earlier. This is in addition to a simplified application form for industrial licenses, getting them online through the eBiz website, exempting a large number of defense equipment from compulsory licensing, and extending the initial validity period of industrial licenses from 2 years to 3 years. On the legislative front, the government amended the Companies Act to drop or relax some stringent provisions. It also brought ordinances to amend the Land Acquisition Act, effected the insurance reforms by increasing the FDI cap from 26% to 49% and allowed e-auction of coal mines.
Now, Make in India is what will determine the future of India. And I believe that we do not have an option but to succeed. If we are to give jobs to our young people, if we are able to get rid of poverty and improve living standards.
There is no dearth of efforts, but the stumbling blocks remain on the road to Make in India. We take a look at all of them after a short break. Welcome back. India Incorporated saw Modi's Make in India campaign as an extremely progressive step. It felt the move will not only make India a manufacturing hub, but will bring inclusive economic growth. But there are several hurdles for this ambitious campaign. Industry captains are almost unanimous in calling the Prime Minister's new land bill crucial for the success of his Make in India pitch. The Indian industry has given its vote of confidence to the new Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Bill. It says the new bill will benefit millions of rural migrants.
You are giving compensation, and the very reason that compensation along with the road that is going to be coming up, the land value is going to go up. So that is to be looked into. So they are happy that when this road is built, they firstly get compensation, the land value goes up, and because of that road, they'll be able to construct shops, this, that, whatever, and make money out of the land that they have with them.
One of the stipulations of the earlier act is that 80% one has to take the consent from 80% people, which is extremely difficult most of the time because the farms are small and there are too many people on the. So it is very difficult to be taking the consent from 80% people.
However, the bill has run into a wall of protests from farmers' unions, opposition lawmakers and civil society groups, all of whom not only find the new bill anti-farmer but also pro-rich. All of which imposes a tough challenge for the government to get it passed in the Rajya Sabha, where it lacks numbers.
We believe that the UPA 13 bill, which we introduced when we were in government, was a far more pro-farmer bill. They have diluted its critical features, namely the social impact assessment, the consent clause, and so forth and so on. We made our position explicitly clear that under no circumstances will the Congress support the bill. किसान को पैसा मुआवजा देने के बजाय हिस्सेदार बनाओ। आज भी हम कायम हैं इस बात पर। दौलत फना हो जाती है, ज़मीन आत्मा से लगा के रखता है आदमी। ऐसा कोई भी कानून जिसमें दलील और अपील की कोई जगह बाकी ना बचे, ऐसा कोई भी कानून लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ होता है।
आप किसानों पर सख्ती कर रहे हैं और बड़े कारपोरेट लोगों को जो एनपीए अकाउंट है, ये हमने कहा था वित्त मंत्री जी से कि उनका कम से कम लिस्ट जारी कर दीजिए।
Having virtually stagnated from 2010 to 2014, manufacturing in India continues to be crippled by tax disputes. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley recently promised investors a predictable and friendly tax regime. He also clarified that while India doesn't practice tax terrorism, it's not a tax haven either. He asserted that taxpayers will be seen as partners and not potential hostages or victims. The Finance Minister also offered tax concessions to foreign investors on the contentious minimum alternate tax in the finance bill. But experts feel the damage was already done when the government decided to press ahead with a 40,000 crore minimum alternate tax demand on foreign institutional investors.
This 40,000 crore, you see, India collected in the wake of Modi wave 2,68,000 crore. That's the kind of money which came in to the Sensex and Sensex zooming. With this tax terrorism of MAT, all the entire dream of the Prime Minister is going to fritter away.
In his maiden Independence Day speech, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that if India wishes to progress on the path of development, then it has to adopt skill development as its mantra. But the purpose stares defeat due to wide disconnect between industry and academia. It's a challenging contradiction. With 600 million people below the age of 25 years, India is bursting with young and aspiring workers. But the youth lack skills to make India globally competitive. The government wants to impart skill training to 500 million people by 2022. But producing a trained workforce is hard work. For only 70% of this workforce is literate, and even out of this 70%, 25% drops out at the primary level. The organized sector needs more industry exposure to improve employability of graduates. Laborers in the unorganized sector need skill development.
Government claims it is for promoting skills, talents of our younger people, younger generation. Government will have to act.
A key challenge for the government is strengthening infrastructure. Infrastructure is critical not only for movement of labor and capital across the country, but is also instrumental in basic development and accelerating speed of doing business. A study by industry body PhD Chambers of Commerce and Industry and CRISIL Ratings says the government needs to set aside 26 lakh crore rupees for the next 5 years to finance infrastructure projects, and this is critical for success of the Make in India campaign.
Main areas of focus for the government would be roads, power and last mile connectivity with the villages. The reason being that the biggest challenge facing India today is job creation, and job creation in the rural areas. One of the best ways to do that is to create infrastructure for food processing in villages so that the jobs actually get generated at villages.
India's energy demand far outstrips generation capacity. Power outage is a common phenomenon. The factor has to be tackled urgently for any movement towards turning the country into a manufacturing powerhouse. and Manpreet Singh vouches for that. He is an auto component supplier to global car makers. Singh says power outages force industries to resort to diesel or portable kerosene generators to generate power, which in turn escalates production costs. All ingredients that may choke the Make in India initiative. High costs linked to the paraphernalia around renewable energy means potential investors aren't pacified.
If the government gives subsidy, okay, we are getting a subsidized power rate, but how much hours of power we get in the factory? That is the question. To maintain that production, we have a backup for the generators, and sometimes, like we did face in the last month, if the generator broke out, we have to have a backup of that generator also. So that increases the capital cost, that financial cost is there, and of course the running cost. All these costs adds up to that.
The Make in India strategy has to be an amalgamation of policy mix that not only encourages large-scale manufacturing units, but also propels small and medium enterprises. While industrial corridors and manufacturing zones are already being planned, credit extension to MSMEs is also imperative. Despite umpteen assurances by the successive governments, the micro, small and medium enterprise sector is plagued by a string of challenges. With a strong focus on promoting the MSME sector and supporting their functioning by timely capital infusion, easy access to credit, providing necessary advisory assistance and technology infrastructure, MSMEs are slated for unprecedented growth in the years to come and provide push to Make in India campaign. Big industrial houses provide jobs to only 1.25 crore people, while small entrepreneurs employ 12 crore people. Despite employing such a large number of people, small businesses have difficulty in getting credit from established banks. This has stifled growth and limited employment. Now the government has pledged to cater to small businesses through its newly launched Mudra Bank.
Every time we want to add some machines, the bank asks for the security from us. From where we'll get this security? The thing is that we are after business only, after doing some business only, whatever money comes, we are going to give it to them. We are not taking the machine anyway, we are not taking the factory somewhere else. It is a capital investment.
ये जानने की कोशिश की है कि पैसे की तो कमी होती है तो उद्योग कैसे लगेंगे। विशेष रूप से जो माइक्रो है, माइक्रो, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम, माइक्रो के लिए मुद्रा बैंक की बात की गई है। माइक्रो में केवल उद्योग ही नहीं है, माइक्रो में ट्रेडिंग भी है, माइक्रो में सेवा सेक्टर भी, सर्विस सेक्टर भी है, जो बहुत छोटे छोटे तबके के लोग हैं। ऐसे लोगों को मुद्रा बैंक की स्थापना की गई है।
For much of the past 2 decades, with the software industry taking center stage and steering the economy, India has missed out on the need for a strong manufacturing base to its economy. With the result that manufacturing has stagnated at 16 to 18% of GDP, despite liberalization of the economy in the 1990s. The service sector, on the other hand, has ballooned to 55% of the GDP. With the renewed stress on manufacturing, the government plans a boost to manufacturing to about 25% of the GDP in the next decade. But for that, a favorable environment coupled with big bang reforms is the prescription of the hour. For the success of Make in India initiative, India has to move beyond rhetoric to well-defined and crafted strategy. A close partnership and dialogue between government and private sector, both foreign and domestic, is critical. The opportunity to become a manufacturing hub, India must grab with both hands. Well, that's all we could pack for you in this edition. Thanks for watching.